Hello and thank you for joining me. A midweek special, so to speak, just a short video that I thought I'd stick out midweek. An alternative, perhaps, to a ferro rod. Stay with me. I've always been aware that ferro rods can be quite difficult if you don't practice with them. I remember absolutely years and years ago when I got my first one, I mastered it with the striker. I then binned the striker because everyone was using the back of their knife, and I had a Mora companion, and I wasn't aware that it doesn't work too good unless you put that 90-degree spine on it. So when I first started out, I struggled, and in my opinion it is a perishable skill. Ferro rods, you've all seen it on YouTube, masses of sparks going like the clappers on a ferro rod is good, but you need to direct those sparks onto your tinder in various conditions. And I am a firm believer that if you have a significant other in your family, that you should try to prepare for them. And that includes get home bags, car kits, etc. And I've already done one on the Good Lady's car kit, and there is a ferro rod in there. Yes, there's a lighter in there and there's a ferro rod, but I am more than aware that she's never used one. Now if I'm with her, no problem, good to go. But if she was by herself, she would struggle, So I was looking out for an alternative, something that could be used by somebody that hasn't got much experience. And I saw these advertised. They are made by SOL, Survive Outdoors Longer, and they are the Micro Sparker. I bought a 2-pack. Basically, they're a little bit like a lighter without the gas or without the fuel. There is a flint inside and a wheel. And you flick the wheel and it emits sparks. According to the bump, it is good. It's tested for 5,000 sparks. Now I'm assuming they mean 5,000 operations and not individual sparks. So I was keen to try this out with a view to replacing the ferro rod in her survival kit to use something that's much easier. They're also marketed for one-handed use, and to be fair, anyone that's used a lighter should be able to use this. Now one of the first things I come across is there is a little arrow in orange, it's not highlighted, on one side only, that tells you the direction of travel. Because if you try to do it one way, it don't work. If you do it the other way, it works. So in my opinion, that should be highlighted. There is no mention of it on the instructions on the packaging. So I decided I've got them. If I want to stick it in her kit, I need to make sure that I'm happy with it. Watch this video clip. So first up, the Old Faithful dry cotton wool ball. And this is the first problem that I've experienced with this firelighter. If you get too close, it draws the cotton wool up into the striker and renders it ineffective. So as you can see, it's not having any of it. It's not windy out here. Because if I go over to a ferro rod, bingo, So, bit of tinder card. It's wax impregnated cardboard. It's okay, it's not PEC red or a special military operation, it's the local goons with their silly pop exhausts, so you'll have to forgive the knob ends. And we'd do exactly the same as what we would do with when using it for ferro rod, which is basically the same sort of thing as you would do with birch bark, which is expose some fibres, it just doesn't appear to emit. Oh hello, we got it that time. That wasn't particularly easy to do. Yeah. Now we're going to go to the old faithful. We're going to go for another cotton wool ball. And this one has got petroleum jelly in it, on it. Yeah. In other words, Vaseline if you like. And it is again, how to do it and set fire to yourself. So it's durable. And I'm going to see if that was a fluke. And do another one. Because these things are marketed for one-handed operation. And I think what the problem is now, I've got some Vaseline on my thumb that's actually on the striker wheel and preventing it from actually sparking. So yeah, it is hard work, and as I say, if you get too close, you'll end up with the cotton wool going round it. Like with a ferro rod, it's pretty much game on. So there you go really, the micro sparker. Admittedly, I've got limited experience with it, but I personally find it harder to use than a ferro rod. Yeah, if you get too close to your tinder, as you saw, it has a tendency to get drawn into the wheel. The sparker doesn't emit a powerful enough amount of sparks, in my opinion, that you can actually hold it off like you can with a ferro rod. Yeah. And whilst it's meant to be targeted or advertised as a one-handed use, I struggled. You saw, I almost set fire to myself when I was holding the cotton wool ball, yeah. So it is a no-no from me. It will be the ferro rod still, but all it's done is reinforce the point to me that I need to get some Vaseline soaked cotton wool balls and get the good lady to start using the ferro rod for poops and giggles in the garden at some point this weekend. So there you go, midweek special, so to speak. If you found the video of use, give us a thumbs up. I would love to see you subscribing to the channel, and as always I'd love to read your comments. Is this something that you've tried? How did you get on with it? Yeah. If you're new to survival, preparedness, bushcraft, whatever, you are going to struggle initially with a ferro rod. As I say, it's a perishable skill. You have to practice. You can use a ferro rod one-handed, yeah. If you're using a fixed blade knife, the knife into a branch so it's fixed, and then draw your ferro rod against it. So there are options to use a ferro rod one-handed. And just another quick tip before I sod off. If you're going to use a folding knife, even if it's a locked knife, yeah, and you're using it in the open position on a ferro rod, be very careful. Because even if it's a locked knife, it can fold up on your fingers. So if you can, get into the practice of using it with the knife in the closed position. It is much, much safer. Have a great evening. See you soon.